Welcome! E aí, galera, beleza? Bem-vindo à nossa comunidade.
Welcome to our community.
Hey, what's going on, guys? It is OGC here. Welcome to today's video. In today's video, I'm going to do my favorite thing ever, and that's going to be analyze other people's stuff. So, a couple quick side notes with all of this. The first being, I get questions all the time from people of, what should I do or how should I do this? It's really hard to type it all out in game. That's part of the reason why I wanted to make a YouTube channel, because it's much easier to talk about it than type about it. It's far easier, trust me. That, and some people will not have a baseline. So if we're asking for help or we want constructive feedback that could benefit from us, I need to know where we currently are and what your goals are so that we can kind of identify some problem areas. If we're human right now and we're thinking about switching to Rockin' and it's like, hey, can you send me everything for Rockin'? That's a loaded question. There's a lot with that. Go to Rockin', do the best that you can, and when it comes to fine-tuning, we can fine-tune. If we're missing the pure basics and the basic principles of that race of the game, then I highly recommend subscribing to the channel and going through some past stuff. Anyways, today we're going to look at Mickey. You probably saw him if you watched our last Clash of Fate video. Mickey is pretty strong. He's got a good amount of core power. He's friends of the channel, all that other stuff. Also, I wanted to pull this up because I asked him if I could do it this way, because we got talking for a while during Clash of Fate, and I don't want to be that guy that just like gives unsolicited stuff to other people. You know what I mean? Like, I want to make sure it's cool, and I want you guys at home to know that too, that I'm not just putting anybody on blast, because that's not the point of this channel. So, first thing that I can see is he has a 4-star divine pet. That's totally fine. It is level 50, so he is keeping up with the pet stuff. I haven't really put any money into the pet stuff for me, and I'm at 51, so it's right around the same, so no fault with that. First thing we're going to look at is going to be the dragon. So his is 53. When we look at the abilities, he's got the Hailstorm, he's got Arcane Blessing, Noble Blood, Frigid Scales, Greater Ice Blast, which he can replace that with a new greater ability at some point in time. He has the newest greater ability, Cosmic Storms, and Hero Pred. As far as Dragonic, alright, so for Dragonic, he's at 159 in both protection and affliction. There's nothing wrong with that because his dragon's not there to do damage. However, he could drop down a couple points in protection and get destruction up just to add a boost to the Cosmic Storms. Personally, this is personal preference only. Only personal preference. I prefer having at least 109 in all three. That way the dragon can do stuff. So for example, towards the end of the match, when say your dragon lived, the enemy's dragon lived, and it's like one of those really close matches and there's a couple heroes or something in both dragons, having the 109 on destruction for the Cosmic Storms could really help. That's a very specific situation, but I really prefer the 109 in all three. The next thing that I would go out and, wow, they're doing really good at having enough Soulfire to bring things up. So he's got the Scales and the Noble Blood. And we have 80 in the Arcane Blessing and 73, which is one higher on the Hailstorm. So what I would do is forget about bringing anything else up and get your Hero Pred to 100. Or get this to the Bless. Hero Pred is no joke, super important. The Noble Blood is absolutely. There's nothing wrong with blessing out the Noble Blood first or second. But whether it's Noble Blood or Hero Pred, those should be the two biggest priorities as far as blessing out everything. All right, so let's go take a peek at the troops and everything. So swords look like they have really good physical and magical resistance, which is pretty wild. The healing received is at 57, so just as a comparison, these are mine, and Mickey has better physical and magical resistance than me. My healing received is 13% higher, which isn't anything crazy, but I think for Mickey, the next thing that he should kind of focus on for the swords as far as secondary abilities from the troop equipment is going to be getting the healing received higher and higher and higher. Also, I would switch to Zen swords. I know the dire ones. Just trust me with the Zen sword thing. I hate going to that, but just trust me on Zen swords. Where you're at, if you're cast level 40 or above, that means enemy dragons have the potential of putting out a ton of damage. Just go with Zen swords. You won't regret it. As far as the archers, archer choice is completely fine. Zen works. Both of them work. They just... I feel like the dire archers do better at hitting walls, that's for sure. So if you're sieging, they also do really good against Sylph, Dwarf, and killing dragons. The Zen archers do really good against Skeleton Lich, humans, and Rockins. So anyways, when we look at his, we can see that crit hit rate 58%. He should have or should be coming up on having the ability to increase his archer research to increase that. So he has really good attack speed on his archers at 2.075. That's really good. The accuracy is 71. That's low. And the crit hit rate, you want that to be as high as possible for archers. The critical hit damage is also seems a little bit low. So for archers, what I would focus on as far as the troop equipment stuff is I would focus on the accuracy. I feel like you're just going to get over time, but increased critical hit chance and critical hit damage. Those would be the two things to really focus on. If we take a quick look, we have increased healing efficiency. So this piece of equipment is not bad. Increased troop healing efficiency, that doesn't matter for archers. Reduce magic taken by troops. That's not bad. There could be better things out there. So like that equipment's not bad. This one is half good. So troop healing efficiency is how well that troop heals other people. If we're going with the healing stuff, we want healing received. However, it does have the double troop attack, so I mean nothing wrong with that. We have double troop attack as well for the armor piece. Increased troop healing received, not bad, and reduced damage. So that's not a bad armor at all. And the last one is going to be increased troop attack twice. Wow, you got a lot of those, man. Increased troop critical hit damage and increased troop health. That's a beautiful, beautiful pendant. So not bad overall, and we can see that he's at 8 stars for the archers, which is why the critical hit damage is so low. When we look at the swords, these guys are also 8 stars. I'm not going to go through all these terribly crazy. I just want to see... Okay, so he's got a bunch of the reduced physical damage taken, magic damage taken, and it doesn't look like he has any increased healing received. So he's got a bunch of the increased troop healing efficiency. Again, that's how well the troop heals others. So anyways, the sword archers, all of that fun stuff, not bad. I just want to see what his research is at. So he's at 274 for the swords. So we're doing the opposite thing as him. We're at 249 for the archers. So my priority when it comes to the troops, and there is no one size fits all. If Mickey is watching this, is personal preference. My archers are way higher than my swords. My swords I can resurrect with Virion. My archers I cannot. So that's part of my rationale with that. Between the affliction, the healings, and the resurrection from Virion, I want my archers to be able to kill. If I cannot kill the enemies with the archers, it does not matter how tanky my swords are. The Nora is going to kill the archers, and the Rufio is going to kill the archers. So I want to get the archers so that before they die, they can get out as much damage as possible. In the past, I have focused more so on the front line and making sure that like my swords, like it makes sense. If you don't tank, then you're going to lose. I understand that. Right now, I'm having pretty good success focusing the archers first. I can't wait to get my swords to get caught up because I hate having that discrepancy. But anyways, it's food for thought, some of his personal preference. But it looks like for Mickey that they are focusing the swords. All right, let's start looking at the heroes and Prism. So we have Flores, and Flores looks to be doing fine. If you can, I would bring up the Twin Blossom. As far as the equipment, equipment looks great. We have the Australian Fatty, 2 stars. Blessing of Piety. So this is a really good prism, but I think we're going to see some trends here. So the first noticeable thing is this is a really strong hero-specific prism, and we have the Fatty on Flores, which we want that Fatty to be on our stall side next to like the swords or whatever. So my guess is, and Mickey can go back and kind of look at all this stuff. My guess is that the Fatty artifact is not benefiting his front line. And if Flores is placed so that she benefits the front line, that's the wrong placement for her. You want her in the back, away from your front line. Anyways, let's jump into the next one. Next one we have Talk, and it looks like Talk is set up fine for skills. Beautiful. He has the Seraph Ring. That's huge. That artifact really doesn't matter. Dragonic Power. Good artifact. Nothing wrong with it, but it's very much lackluster. I don't want to say it's a complete waste of a prism, but it's pretty close to that. Next is Cizeo. So Cizeo looks like he's set up pretty well. I like that Cizeo build. So Shuriken is at 2 stars, and as far as Devastating Strike, alright, can't argue with that on Cizeo. That works. Next is Bane. Bane's at 50. Wow. Okay, so couple issues with Bane. Viking Chieftain, that is my favorite skill, but it's because it's a trolling skill. I would just get rid of that. For Bane, use some of your skill cards and max your Provoke. You need Provoke max, and you also want Barbaric Blessing. You got the Barbaric Blessing, perfect, but max out your Provoke. Provoke's going to offer damage mitigation for Bane, making him way more tanky. So get this up to 9, use some of your skill cards or whatever, reset, get rid of Viking Chieftain. I love it. It's, as a troll thing, it's not serious. And then for Corner Beast and Spinning Ale, throw 1 point in each of those. They both will offer a bunch of stuff. Next we have Bazrix. So Bazrix, he's got the Claymore, attack speed bow, he's got the pistol. Alright, so this Bazrix looks pretty good. And we got Turn the Tide 6 on Bazrix. Turn the Tide, amazing prism. Move this to a backline hero, whether it's Talk, Flores, Fenris, and anything that's going to stay in the backline. Beautiful prism. I really like it. Another major issue with this is Nightcrawler. We need to bring this up 1 more point. So with Nightcrawler, in the +1 abilities, you can have 9 out of 9 +1 and get a 10 out of 9. So with Nightcrawler, here is the problem with it right now is we drop a Bloody Shackle every 6 seconds. When you get this to 10 out of 9, it'll drop a Bloody Shackle every 5 seconds. And because there's, I don't know, a bunch of shackles, you're going to save yourself a lot of time to cast Bat Splits. So definitely change that with your Bazrix. Get that Nightcrawler to 10 out of 9. That way you can cast the Bat Splits even sooner. Balrog, this looks like a super tanky Balrog. What is this weapon thing? Wow, okay. The Lance. Anyways, for this Balrog, we got some work to do. I don't mean that in a mean way, just constructive criticism way. Drop down the Shockwave. Balrog is one of those heroes, 1 point minimum into everything, of course. When it comes to his other abilities, you want Indomitable Spirit. That's going to be your biggest priority to get this to 9 out of 9. Get the item from the Void for the +1, so it's at 10 out of 9, and get that out there on him. Next is Overall. Overall is so strong. Make sure that this is at 9 out of 9. I don't know what you're doing with your skill cards, but this hero looks like a really good hero to put some of the skill card things in there. You don't need to max them out, but you need at least 1 point in everything. Indomitable Spirit maxed out. Overall needs to be maxed out. Both of those maxed out. And then instead of doing Shockwave, I would focus on Reverent as like the other ability. So in an ideal world, Overall is maxed out. Indomitable Spirit's maxed out. I would put 1 point in Primal Will. That's just me, or Primal Fury. 1 point in Totemic Curse. I would just put 1 point in Shockwave until you max out Reverend. That's not the most important skill for him, but it's by far the best thing. It just stuns up everything. It's super strong. But overall, Indomitable Spirit, get those maxed out, bud. Next, we have Elena. Don't stop leveling your Elena. Focus on something else to level. She doesn't need to be top level. We do have the Mirror of Truth. As far as the artifact Dragonic Defiance, okay, cool. How is she set up? So she has the Silver Wings Radiance at 9 out of 9, Magic Resist at 6 out of 5. Perfect, your Elena is good. Next is Rufio. So Rufio has Bring Up Your Leo's Pride. Just, unless you're getting Ring of Ragnir, like, just stop whatever you're doing, bring up your Leo's Pride. It will make his leap and spins better. Leo's Pride should probably be the first free-to-play artifact to 5 stars. It's super huge. Wave Power 7, okay. As far as the setup on him, Deep Impact is at 5 out of 5. Fearless is there. Bloodbath, Intimidating Shout, Chopping Blade. I mean, he's kind of like a steak. You just season him to how you want him. You have everything for him. Personally, I would drop down some of the points for like Bloodbath and stuff and bring up Intimidating Shout and get that to 10 out of 9. That's personal preference. It also gives you more stamina. Myra, I know nothing about, so I'm just going to go with Dragon Armor. Drop this, go with the Troop Prism stuff. It's a really, really good Prism. I think that this Prism is also really good if you are frontlining your Dragon. However, nowadays it's way too scary to do that. I don't know enough about Myra to really jump into her too much. Next, we have Vega. So Vega is fine. If you ever use Saints, just use the Priest Mastery. Vega is fine, man. She's if she's in the back, she's a really good candidate for Prisms. Like Turn the Tide or something like that, because she'll be safe in the back line. Next we have Virion. We have the 2-star Solaris. Thumbs up to you, sir. Great job with that selection. What is this item? Okay. It works. Alright, so for this we have 6 out of 5 for Crusader Resurrection. Crusader Shield's at 8 out of 9. Sword Mastery is there. He's another one that, like, your extra skill cards are worth to be dumped in at every additional level of Blade Safeguard. It looks like you have probably dumped in all of your skill cards into him, and he's probably maxed out. Next is Raxius. Beautiful looking Raxius. Let's see this stuff first. So we have the 3-star Hourglass Man. You are set up to be a beast with some fine-tuning. The Shamanic 6. So this is not a bad artifact. I would keep that. I would keep that because that's pretty good. Okay, here's our problems with Raxius. Refract, unless you are a Lich, just keep that at 0. Just get rid of that altogether. Just forget about it. Never think about it again. 0 out of 9 Refract. Metamorphosis, just keep that at 1. If you're going to do it at all, just keep this at level 1. And then those extra points, again, it's kind of like Rufio is to taste. So if you want to do additional damage to the enemy, say you're using Arcane 8 or something on Raxius, then Abyssal Light, bring that up to 9. Otherwise, do you want to increase your damage or your attack speed, bring up the other ones. So that's to taste, but get rid of Refract as soon as you possibly can. So Gan is there. Alright, Gan's fine. Gan looks good. We don't need to go over that one. Avalon. So we have a 2-star Skytome. Good. Keep bringing that one up. As far as the Prisms, we're going with the Dexterity one. There's nothing wrong with that. I do like the Dexterity one. However, you're missing out on all of the Troop bonus Prisms. So that might be another really good candidate to change for it. Use the skill cards on him. Get that Warhorn 9 out of 9. Warhorn is way too huge. Get that up. So use the skill cards. Get him up on it. Lunella, she's got the Valkyrie's Banner. 4 stars. Wow, beautiful. Yeah, I would stop bringing that up until your Leo's Pride is at 5 out of 5. Or 5 stars, I'm sorry. Valkyrie's Banner, 4 star. That's beautiful, man. It really is, but get that Leo's Pride up. As far as the abilities, she looks fine. You can bring the Crescent Moon and Starfall up if you wanted to, and just bring the Moon Dance down a little. I don't know. She's another one that's kind of to taste. Ooh, Solaris. Let's show Solaris. All right, so for Solaris, he's fine for where he is now. I would get Bloodthirst with at least 1 point. He's one of those heroes. Besides from the hatred, emancipation, make sure he has 1 point in everything. And you're doing the right thing. Keep bringing up Hell's Pardon as it unlocks. That's his bread and butter. So Yip is at 51. That's huge. I do see the +1 trinket. And this is at 3 stars. All right. We have the Tailwind at 10 out of 9. Honestly, he's fine. You can leave him just like that. If you wanted to bring out Cyclone, you could. It's kind of all up to the person. Next is Varli. So I take it we saw somebody's replay and we want to roll with the Varli. So Arcane Fury 7, cool. The damage stuff, all that stuff makes her look really cool. Lotus Fire, Crackling Flame. Yeah, for where you're at, she's fine. That might be a prism that I don't know. Guardian 7 on Ophidia. Huh. Nice job, man. Guardian is huge. So you got that. All right. So this is okay. So this she needs a tiny bit of work. I would get the Cobra Covenant up. I would get the Cold Blooded up, and then really work on focusing the rest on the Scarlet's Wrath. As far as what you can bring down Pagan Curse. It's a really good skill, but it is worth bringing down. Unless you're trying to do something crazy with Varli. Then you're trying to do something crazy with Varli. But the Cobra Covenant and Cold Blooded definitely max out as you level her up. Finally, we have Nora. So for Nora, we have Dragonic Storm 7. We have a bunch of cool stuff on it. The only other thing I would consider doing is I would get rid of the Claymore. In an idealistic world, our Nora should not be getting hit. So I would put the Rapier on her, and that's also going to consistently help her deal damage. And sometimes Nora will take damage, whether it's right at the start or right before she dies. She's not really a tanky hero, so I would put the Rapier on instead. As far as the abilities, it looks like your abilities are fine. As soon as you can, bring the Destructive Rage 1 more point up. Not a huge rush on that. All right, so let's go take a look at the formation. So, okay, this is not the normal type of formation that I'm used to. So we have. Oh, okay, so his floor is frontline for the fatty artifact. Okay. Or not frontline, but towards the front. It is hanging up that stall side. So... it's a pretty cool formation. I don't necessarily think that anything is like wrong with it. In an ideal world... just ideal. I would pull the Cizeo back to the Vega, move the Vega somewhere else, and then put the Varli up where Cizeo is. That way he can get the boost of Warhorn. This looks like a standardized like dual tower type of form, so I'm not going to really jump too far into the form. And I also sent Mickey the replay so that they can take a quick peek at my stuff. But while we're here, I just figured I'd offer some feedback to Mickey. I don't know when this week the Prism video is going to come out, but that might be super beneficial for Mickey. Anyways, I'm losing what I'm doing. Please smash the thumbs up button, like, share, subscribe, all of that wonderful stuff. And I hope you have a fantastic day. After you go down to the description, check out the Facebook group and also the donation tab if you want to further support the channel. Take care, and I look forward to seeing you guys soon. Bye.